It's hard to believe that exactly a year ago today, we brought you the news that the Atlantic 10 Conference Tournament had been canceled due to the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic. 365 days later, we're pleased to be covering the return of the Bonnie's men's basketball team to the A10 Championship. And to help us preview Sunday's big game with VCU, let's bring back in our Tommy Valentine, who's been hanging around the Riley Center this Friday morning. Tommy, what do the Bonnies have to do to return home with that coveted tournament championship trophy?
Well, Ryan, a few of the players getting up some shots just hours before the team leaves for Dayton. A.J. Vasquez, Jaron Holmes, Jalen Attaway was out here just a few moments ago. But as has been the case all year with this team, it starts at the defensive end. Coach Schmidt's team boasts a top 10 scoring defense in the country, anchored by the league's Defensive Player of the Year, Oshun Oshuni. Coach Schmidt referred to him as the eraser after his 7-block performance last weekend against St. Louis. He erases the rest of the team's mistakes, and it's a role Oshun has clearly embraced.
My mindset into games is just to try to, be in the right positions and to do the dirty work. If my teammates make a mistake on a back cut, try to be there to not even block it, just alter it, make the guy miss the shot, and we can get out and run. So I don't have a mindset of trying to get 7 blocks every game. I just have a mindset of just trying to be the best defensive player.
One player on shooting in the first half. Now Highland used Nashawn Bones Highland. The first team all-conference selection went for 16 and 22 in his 2 games against St. Bonaventure, and he's only gotten better since the tournament started, dropping 30 in the quarterfinals against Dayton. Coach Schmidt mentioned this week the importance of a ball security to neutralize Highland's effect in the open court. And expect the Bonnies to be on the attack when on offense. Controlling the tempo of the game was also a point that was emphasized by Coach Schmidt this week. In other words, if St. Bonaventure plays St. Bonaventure basketball, Coach Schmidt feels very confidently in his team's ability to punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament by 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon. From the Riley Center, I'm Tommy Valentine, SBU-TV Sports. Throwing it back to you, Ryan.
Thanks, Tommy. While the men's basketball team forges ahead in the postseason, the women's team returned to St. Bonaventure this week after an opening round exit in their Atlantic 10 tournament, bringing an end to a difficult season for head coach Jesse Fleming's bunch. The Bonnies squaring off against Davidson for the 3rd time this year. St. Bonaventure won the first 2 meetings, but Davidson came ready to play for round 3. The 2 teams trading punches in the first half. Asian A. Johnson sticks the smooth pull-up jumper in the late stages of the second quarter. Next time down the floor, Johnson goes to the offhand for the bucket and the foul. She would finish with a game-high 18 points. Bonnies trailed by as many as 13 in the 3rd quarter, but this Torrey Harris 3-pointer would cut the deficit to 3. And that's as close as the Bonnies would get. Bonaventure hanging around until the 4th quarter, and Katie Turner buries a shot from way downtown to pull the game out of reach. Davidson pulls away late, taking down the Bonnies 69-61. The season for the Bonnies finishes with a 6-15 record.
They live on in the Atlantic 10 tournament.
It was disappointing not seeing the Riley Center rocking with fans this year, especially considering the success of both the men's and women's teams at home. But the RC was far from empty. There were plenty of faces, both human and canine, but in cutout form, of course. Our Tyler Everett brings us the stories of a few of the fans whose cutouts had season tickets for all the Bonnies Hoops action this year.
COVID-19 prevented fans from attending basketball games this season, but the Riley Center wasn't empty as teams hit the hardwood. In the bleachers, behind both baselines, cardboard cutouts filled the seats usually occupied by rowdy Bonner students. Assistant Athletic Director of Marketing Seth Johnson wanted fans to stay connected to their teams.
And it's a way for our fans to feel like they're a part of this season, a part of this team. They're bummed that they can't be here this season. We're bummed that we can't have them. So it's just kind of a way that we could get them involved a little bit. And it also gives a lift for our guys, too, that they can see, the people care and the people are thinking about them.
Bonner basketball was important for Tom and Bernadette Green. They paid for a cutout of their dog, Bean. With the cutout, they combined their favorite team and their favorite furry friend.
Wherever I take Bean, Bean makes people smile. So I figure she's there up at Bonnie's making people smile. It's fun. I think it just makes us feel more connected to the school.
Other fans use images of themselves to replace their presence at the Riley Center. Dom Greco, also known as Captain Beer, is passionate about his Bonnies.
This is really like a lifelong thing that since I've been here that they just captured me. It's so much fun watching them play, and I love supporting them.
He wants to stay in touch with the team he loves, even though he can't go to games.
There to support our players no matter what, even though maybe they can't hear us or we can't be there. We're still going to support them. They know we're watching.
The connection between Bonner players and fans was interrupted this season. one can only hope that next year will bring a return to a familiar environment. For SBU-TV Sports, I'm Tyler Everett. New, now, next.
The basket plus the foul. Washington. He lost the football.
Finishing off with a little football news, the Buffalo Bills retaining a key player from their 2021 AFC Championship run. Linebacker Matt Milano signed a 4-year, $44 million contract extension Thursday afternoon, a source told ESPN's Adam Schefter. Milano started 39 of 55 games in his 4 years in Buffalo. He's produced 265 tackles, 6 sacks, and 5 interceptions in his career. His new contract runs through the 2024 season. With the A-10 championship game this Sunday, the Bonnies look to bring home their second A-10 tournament title in program history, bringing us to this week's SBU-TV Sports Trivia question. The league looks a little different now than it did back when the Bonnies took home the championship back in 2012. In fact, what 4 teams have left the A-10 since the 2012 championship tournament, and what 3 teams have joined the league since? One of the teams that left, the Bonnies beat in the championship game, that's Xavier. The other 3 were Charlotte, Temple, and Butler. The 3 teams that entered the conference since then, George Mason, Davidson, and the Bonnies' opponent on Sunday, VCU. Congratulations to Iris Archer from Marlton, New Jersey on her second SBU-TV Sports Trivia win. And we're asking our fans to send in pictures of you all donning your St. Bonaventure gear this weekend, and we'll get them up on our social media accounts. And stay tuned for all our post-game coverage on Sunday night. Again, the Bonnies and the Rams will be tipping off at 1 p.m. on CBS.